Hi everyone, my name is Autumn, and this is a class with LK Nutrition, and we're going to do a yin/restorative yoga class. So I just want to take the time to congratulate you all for taking the time to rest and rejuvenate, and healing your relationship with your food and your body it's not an easy thing to do, and this can be a really beneficial tool in your toolbox during that process. So thank you for joining me. So just a couple of notes. I'm going to be, and you're going to be, on, if you have a yoga mat, great. If not, no worries, wherever you want to be. We're going to be either seated or reclined the whole time. And these postures we're going to hold from anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes each. But it's all just about releasing into the posture. It's not about using your muscles to hold you up. And it's about finding sensation, but feeling kind of you can connect with that sensation, you can connect with your breath, and you can find some comfort in that position as well. So we talk about finding your edge in yin, which is where is the place that you're finding sensation, and at the same time, not pushing to a point of such discomfort that you can't be present with it, right? So the other thing I want to note is that having a prop would be really helpful. So behind me, I have a bunch of yoga props. You can use your choice, any one of the following. So you can use a blanket that you'll just roll up. That's one option. Another option is a pillow, or I have a yoga bolster. Both are great. And then if you'd like, in addition, to have a block or a little stack of books, you can also have this. This one's optional as well. You're welcome to use just a blanket, just a pillow, just a bolster, fine as well. So we're going to get started in a position on our backs. So you're going to take your pillow or blanket or whatever you're using and just put it long ways on your mat. And you're going to scoot yourself just in front of it. From here, just let yourself release back so that you feel this little bit of an opening in your chest. So now you're going to let your arms splay out however feels good. So maybe to the sides, maybe if you'd like your arms just down by your sides, that's fine, or hands on your body. Notice what amount of sensation feels good for you. With your legs, you're welcome to extend them straight out in front of you. That's a great option. You're also welcome to plant your feet about hip distance apart, and then or a little further, and let your knees knock together. If you want a little bit of a deeper hip opener, the soles of your feet can come together and your knees can splay open. So any of those is a great option. And then from here, you can close your eyes, or if it feels more comfortable, just find a soft gaze. And then if it feels okay to you, tune into your breath. So just watching the rise and the fall of your breath as you inhale and exhale. And we're going to stay in this position just for a few minutes. One helpful thing to do is to notice where you feel sensation in your body and see if you can send your breath into that space that you feel the sensation. If at any point the posture that you chose feels too intense, feel free to just shift it. Shift your legs, shift your arms. And then again, find that steadiness or that stillness with your body. And see if you can just let everything sink down rather than holding tension in your jaw, your arms, your legs. See if you can just let everything release and sink down towards the floor. If you notice that your mind drifts off, totally normal. See if you can bring the attention just back to the breath. So your mind will probably drift off a million times, and that's okay. See if you can just gently bring it back to the body, to the breath, And it's okay if you're lost in thought for a while. There's always this welcome, this openness to coming back to the breath and back to the body. No pressure or judgment if you're lost in thought, just an invitation to come back. And take just 3 more breaths here in this position, whatever it might be for you. And then when you're ready, you can take your hands to help you. You're going to bring your knees towards each other if they're not already. And then you have an option. You can either just roll off to one side and press yourself up to sit, or you can just grab beneath your legs and roll yourself all the way up to sit. From here, we're going to move this on over. You're welcome to use it in the next posture. I'm going to give you 2 options. We're going to take a forward fold here. So the first option for the forward fold is you take your feet and you plant them nice and wide, about mat distance apart. Your knees are bent. And then you're just going to let yourself just fall to the middle of your legs. Your arms can come to the inside of the legs if that feels good. Your head can just release down. So a lot of us have the tendency to hold our heads up. See if you can just let your head be super heavy and let it just sink down towards the earth. From here, if you're noticing any discomfort in your sits bones, you can sit up on a blanket or a pillow or something like that. The second option for this pose is to take a more traditional seated forward fold. You can take something underneath you if that feels good and helpful to you. For me, it helps my pelvis kind of tip forward a little bit and helps me go into a deeper forward fold. Your legs do not have to be together. They can be separate. Your knees can always be bent. And then just let yourself, again, just kind of melt. There's no need to find any sort of straight spine or any of that. Just let your heart melt, let your head melt, let everything be heavy towards the mat. And then see if you can just let your feet release. So notice what happens with them naturally. Maybe they'll open out to the sides. Maybe something else will happen. See if you can just let everything sink down. Head is releasing, arms are releasing. Notice the sensation in this position that you feel both in the back of the legs and in your spine as well. If at any point you need to switch to that other position, please do. Just bend those knees, plant those feet, and let everything sink forward. So just take a few minutes to breathe here. If you ever notice any opportunities for yourself to sink deeper, see if you can find them to just melt a little bit deeper towards the floor. So if the top of the head can sink a little bit more, maybe if the shoulders can release more. If there's any place that you might be just gripping or holding, can you let your breath go to that space and then you soften again and again? So from here, take 3 more breaths. And then after that 3rd breath, see if you can let yourself just roll up through your spine. Head is heavy and is the last thing to rise. Roll up nice and slow. And take a moment to just sit upright, knees bent or straight, and notice the sensations that you're feeling. Maybe even put your hands on your thighs if that feels safe to you. And notice the sensations that you're feeling in your body. Where are you feeling it? What does that transition feel like? And then in time, you're going to scoot yourself off of whatever you're sitting on, if you're sitting on something. And we're going to make our way down to the back. So make sure you have either your pillow or if you have a block or a stack of books, that's nearby. You're going to plant your feet and you're going to slowly come all the way down to your back. So today I'm going to use a block to demo, but you can of course put a pillow or a blanket instead of the block. So I'm going to plant my feet about hip distance apart, and then I'm going to press down into the soles of my feet and lift my hips up. From there, I'm just going to slide this block underneath my sacrum. So just making sure that tailbone is supported with this block. You have the option of putting this on a little bit of a higher height if you notice you like that sensation. Little bit more sensation. You can put it on the lowest height. Again, blanket or pillow is fine too. From here, you can keep your knees bent and your feet planted. Or if you want a little bit more opening in the front of the body, straighten your legs out long. So notice if you straighten your legs out long and this feels uncomfortable in any way or too intense, come straight back to those bent knees. There is nothing that you have to do. Nothing you have to earn. This is all about paying attention to and listening to what feels good in your body. So again, from here, your arms can be down by your sides, or maybe you're going to take your hands to your body. I'm realizing as I moved into this pose that today, bending my knees would serve me better. So I'm going to come back. And then whatever position you decided to be in, if closing your eyes feels good, closed is great. If a soft gaze feels good, that's great as well. Hands either by your sides or on your body. And then just bringing your attention, your awareness to the sensations in your body and to your breath. Taking just a few minutes here. And then just 3 more breaths here, nice and slow. And when you're ready, if your hands are on your body, you're going to take them down alongside you. Walk your feet in, maybe a little bit closer. Really press down into the soles of the feet. Engage just a little bit in your glutes so that you can lift up off of the block or the pillow, whatever you're on, and then slide it out from under you. From here, you're going to just slowly roll down the spine. Notice the sensations that you're feeling once you've done that. And I'm going to just shift my props off to the side so I have a little bit more space here. You don't need any props for the rest of this class. From here, curl your knees into your belly. You can keep them nice and wide. You can bring them together, whatever feels good to you. And then shift your hips just a little bit towards the right. So it might help to put your arms down on the mat to do that. Then from here, you're going to let yourself, hips off to the right, let your knees fall over towards the left. Then your arms come out into a T, and see if you can let that right shoulder really be heavy down towards the mat. So this is a spinal twist. For some of us, this feels maybe a little too intense. And if that's the case, putting a block or a blanket or a pillow in between your knees can be helpful. So if you need to go and grab one of those props again, that can be helpful. For some people, you want a little bit more sensation. If you want more sensation, just take that gaze and look over the right shoulder. That'll deepen this twist. From here, just notice the sensation you feel in your back. Gaze can be anywhere that feels good for you. If you'd like to take that left hand to the outside of the right knee, that's totally fine as well. And then again, see if you can just let everything sink into the mat. Heaviness here, finding your breath, paying attention to the sensation in your body. Again, if the mind wanders, it is totally normal. Rather than grabbing onto those thoughts, fixating on them, see if you can bring the attention back to the body, back into the breath again. Taking from here just 3 more breaths. And then when you're ready, in your own time, if you have something in between your legs, you can move it off to the side, but make sure it's nearby so that you have it for the other side. Then from here, belly button towards your spine so that you have some stability in your core, and bring your knees all the way back up towards center. From here, shift yourself off so that everything's all squared away. Notice the sensation that you feel when you're in this neutral position. And then from here, we'll take the other side. So it might be even easier to shift your hips before you lift your knees up. So hips shift off to the left. Knees can come up nice and wide or together. And then knees fall over to the right. So from here, again, that pillow or that blanket can go in between the knees if that feels supportive for you. Arms can go out to the side, maybe cactus like I am, or out to a T. And then from here, if you'd like more sensation, gaze is like mine is over the left shoulder. If it's a little bit too intense, gaze up towards the sky or towards that right side. And then again, the option for that right hand to come to the outside of that left knee. And then from here, find your attention on the breath, on the sensation in your body. Eyes are closed or gaze is soft, totally up to you. Rather than it be a judgment for your thoughts wandering, just let it be an invitation back home to your breath, to the sensations in your body. One of my favorite quotes from Tara Brach, who's an amazing meditation instructor and psychotherapist, and she has some great books, is that thoughts are real but not true. So yes, they'll affect our experience, but that doesn't mean that they're true, right? Just because they're coming into our head. And so if we can bring ourselves back from the thoughts to the breath to the body, it's an invitation away from something that might distract or overwhelm us. An invitation back to what's going on right now, what is true. Taking here just 3 more breaths. And then when you're ready, again, we can go slow. Belly button is close to the spine, just so that you can slowly bring those knees back to center. Protect the back, and then realign your hips. Find just a moment where you're paying attention to the sensation here. And then when you're ready, we're going to take a moment in final resting pose. If it feels good to take any other movement beforehand, for me right now, just a happy baby feels good, bringing my knees nice and wide outside my ribs. I can either grab behind my legs or arms to the inside of the legs, hands to the outside of the feet, and that just feels like it'll release my hips a little bit more. And whatever you decide to do, totally fine, and then come into that final rest, that Shavasana, when you're ready. So just legs can reach out long if that feels good. If it's better to keep your knees bent and your feet planted, that's fine. Feet splay out to either side. If you feel like you need support under your head, option to use a pillow or a blanket. Option to have your hands alongside your body or hands on your body, your choice. And then from here, eyes closed or gaze soft, and just take a few minutes here. Let everything go. One of my teachers that I've taken a number of classes with says during Shavasana, nothing to do, nothing to become, perfect as you are. So with those words in mind, just releasing for these next few minutes, permission to just let go. And then from here, just take 5 more slow breaths, paying attention to them. Big inhales and exhales. And then when you're ready, no rush at all. You can also just stay here. Knees can come in towards the belly. And then from here, roll off to one side. Either side is fine. Take that fetal position. Hands can come underneath your head for just a moment. And then when you're ready, pressing up into the hands, let your head be heavy and come all the way up to find a comfortable seat. For me, Sitting cross-legged is only comfortable if I sit up on something. So I'm just going to take my block. You can take your blanket, or you can take your pillow or bolster or whatever if that feels comfortable, safe for you. And then take a moment, just rest your hands, palms face down on your legs. If it feels safer, hands by your sides, either's fine. Shoulders release down away from your ears. Take your eyes, close them for a moment, or soft gaze. And then from here, take your hands palm to palm in front of your heart. The light in me honors the light that shines so brightly in you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Once again, my name is Autumn, and I'm just grateful to you for giving this a try. And again, congratulations on taking this time out for yourself. Have a wonderful, wonderful morning, evening, day, whatever time it might be.